When promoting a new film, directors select only the themes they feel will interest viewers into attending the picture. This presentation analyzes two interpretations of William Shakespeare's Macbeth through advertising, adapted by two different directors, and the common themes they selected to display in posters and trailers to attract viewers. Some themes and plot points that directors think will be the most interesting for Macbeth are the struggle between good and evil, the relationship and manipulation between Lady Macbeth and Macbeth, Macbeth's desire for power, the conflict between fate and freedom, the idea of the supernatural, violence, and of course, ambition. The first film we will be analyzing is Roman Polanski's screen adaptation of Macbeth from 1971. As I said before, the producer's main intent for the poster is to raise awareness and excitement for the upcoming movie. The directors and designers have tried to give a part of the plot away, along with expressing some of the themes that viewers would expect to see in the film. That way, people will be more excited and be more willing to attend the film. The directors and designers have selected the dagger to be the main focus of the poster. They have not only made it the largest part of the poster, but they have also made the dagger act as a leading line to direct the viewer's eyes to the next section of the poster. The dagger points down to the next section, which displays a battle. This battle also represents the first part of Act 1, when Macbeth is a war hero, which is how he earns his title as Thane of Cawdor. This is when Macbeth is still pure, which is why a lot of the picture is still white, in a mostly black poster. During Shakespeare's time, black was considered dark or evil, whereas white represented purity or good. By having a white glow on the battle, this represents like in the beginning of Act 1 when Macbeth was still good and before he turned to dark deeds. Additionally, this kicks off the story and also kicks off the circular structure of the poster. After your eye is led to the battle, it is then led to the crown that Macbeth is reaching for. As you know, it is the victory in battle that got Macbeth his position as Thane of Cawdor, and thus fueled his ambition for the desire of the crown. If you follow the arm up from the crown, you then see Macbeth is being kissed by Lady Macbeth. This is the way the directors have chosen to portray that Lady Macbeth has a large influence over Macbeth and his character, along with his driving his ambition and will and desire for the crown. The poster then flash forwards to after Macbeth and Lady Macbeth have received the crown. The poster has now traveled full circle, and the dagger at the end shows that even though Macbeth and Lady Macbeth have gained their position as king and queen, that they will do everything in their power, including violent acts, to maintain their position. All in all, within that poster, the recurring motifs, themes, and plot points that were kept by the directors were the manipulative relationship between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, Macbeth's increasing desire for power and ambition, violence, and of course, the struggle between good and evil. The second poster we'll be looking at today is Macbeth, Shakespeare Retold by Peter Moffat. In this interpretation, rather than struggling for the crown, he is struggling for ownership of the restaurant. Macbeth and his wife plot to overthrow the owner and try and take control of the restaurant. What's different about this interpretation of Macbeth as opposed to the other is that they have dressed Macbeth in all white, symbolizing purity and good, and Lady Macbeth in all black, symbolizing evil and darkness. Here it reads, "A gripping and vital portrait of the fall of a man and his ultimate realization of his own corruption." This film is focusing less on Macbeth being evil and going insane, and focusing more on that he is just someone who is pure but has strayed to the path of evil because of influence. The filmmakers are essentially blaming his fall entirely on Lady Macbeth. Not only that, but the designers gave him a halo to symbolize heaven. This is what pulls apart the second poster from the first. The main focus in the first poster is evil, and the main subject is the dagger, which you know is in the hand of Macbeth. It focuses mainly on Macbeth's downfall, spiraling down from his noble battle down to being violent and killing the king. This poster focuses on Macbeth still being a good person, essentially good and pure, but just influenced by Lady Macbeth, who is evil. The designers also chose to leave bags under his eyes and keep his hair unkempt to make it look like he had not slept, promoting the motif of sleeplessness, showing that he is also repentant of his sins, still clutching the knife within his grip. The main focus of this poster is really the battle between bad and good. Macbeth is still portrayed as a pure person and a good person. Just because he still has the knife clutched within his hands, it shows that he did commit bad deeds, but he is not a bad person like Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth is portrayed as the force that is evil and is straying Macbeth. Additionally, the directors have chosen to use the two motifs of sleeplessness and heaven. Sleeplessness to show that although Macbeth did commit the sins, he is very repentant, and also the motif of heaven to show his purity. And finally, this poster differs from the first because it focuses more on the relationship between Lady Macbeth and Macbeth rather than the violence itself.
Trailers are key to a film's success. They promote the film to a large audience and make it seem as appealing as possible. Therefore, the directors will choose what they view as the most attractive parts to their target audiences. It is through these chosen segments that we can determine what the director viewed as important to the film. In Roman Polanski's Macbeth, he centers the trailer on a few main themes: darkness, madness, and sleeplessness. These same themes run through the 2005 Macbeth Retold trailer, which expresses both themes to an even greater extent than Roman Polanski. Near the beginning of the Polanski trailer, you can see a castle on a hill at night during a storm. This darkness, along with bad weather, was used in the play to symbolize evil, and it is used for the same effect in this part of the film. The same theme of darkness representing evil is shown less directly in Macbeth Retold. Instead of a storm at night, a lot of the play is just filmed in a way that makes it seem as if it's always dark. In this trailer, both Lady Macbeth and Macbeth spend almost all their time in the dark. When Lady Macbeth is walking the building, it is dark, and when Macbeth or Lady Macbeth are in bed sitting awake, it is always dark outside as well. Madness runs throughout both trailers. This is because madness intrigues the audience, so both directors made sure to fill the trailers with scenes that involve madness. In both versions of the trailer, you can see Lady Macbeth rubbing her hands together, and in each version, it is made clear that she is not in her right mind. She walks along the edge of a building in the 2005 version, and she is unresponsive to anything in the Polanski's trailer. Macbeth is also shown as mad in both versions. For example, in Polanski's trailer, Macbeth is seen yelling to no one and doing things that are not normal. In Macbeth Retold, not only does the actor in some scenes have his hair done in a crazy manner with a matched look, but he is also seen fondling a knife. This occurs in multiple scenes. Sleeplessness plays a large role in the madness of the Macbeth couple, and is shown in both trailers. Their sleeplessness occurs because of the guilt that is associated with their involvements in the murders, and it takes a toll on them. In both renditions, you can see Macbeth or Lady Macbeth unable to sleep, and this lack of sleep help lead to their insanity. For example, Lady Macbeth in both trailers is seen washing her hands in her nightgown, which means that she was supposed to be sleeping, but couldn't. In the Macbeth Retold version, she even jumps off the building in her nightdress. Trailers are a big deal for movies. They help build up anticipation and make up people's minds as to whether they want to watch the movie or not. In these two trailers, the directors chose to single out three main themes that are not only prominent in the play that they are basing their work off of, but are also intriguing to an audience. A movie can be made or broken just through its advertisement. No person would want to go see a movie with a trailer or poster that wasn't interesting or that seemed unimportant. Advertisements play a larger role than most people think, especially for small productions like majority of the Macbeth films. so it is imperative that they stand out against others.